الحمد لله إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ولي الصالحين ونشهد أن سيدنا وحبيبنا وعظيمنا وقدوتنا وسندنا ومولانا محمدا عبد الله ورسوله الأمين. فقد قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وقضى ربك ألا تعبدوا إلا إياه وبالوالدين إحسانا إما يبلغن عندك الكبر أحدهما أو كلاهما فلا تقل لهما أف ولا تنهرهما وقل لهما قولا كريما واحفظ لهما جناح الذل من الرحمة وقل رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. صدق الله مولانا العظيم. وقال حبيب المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا مات ابن آدم انقطع عمله إلا من ثلاث: صدقة جارية أو علم ينتفع به أو ولد صالح يدعو له أو كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. Alhamdulillah, respected ulama ikram, respected fathers, mothers, honorable youth in Islam, I greet you with the greeting of peace, the greeting of Jannah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, first and foremost, we thank and we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Peace and salutations upon our noble leader, our master, our guide, our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We seize this opportunity to make dua for all the sick and ill. We make dua Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them all shifa and kamila. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them all a speedy recovery. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Special du'as for all the deceased. Today, more special, one of our mothers from our area. We make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant her and likewise all the other deceased the highest abodes in Jannah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expand her qabr to where the eye can see. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fill her qabr with nur. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loosen her tummy at the time of questioning. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make her qabr to become one of the gardens of Jannah. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. What can I say, Jamaatul Muslimin? And as we said last week, we are living in such a confused time that one moment you are happy, no sooner you were invited to a birthday party, by standing there, by enjoying, enjoying the happiness of a friend or a family relative, you receive a phone call with sad news of a janaza. And this is a, life that we live in. Our happiness is so short. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to teach us a lesson that indeed this world was not created for us. La aisha illa aishul akhirah. I swear by Allah, true happiness one will not find in this world. For indeed this world is too temporary. Our time very soon will run out. Our time very soon will run out. We see our beloved ones today with us. We think, and at the back of our mind we think that we will be with them forever. Only for that day to dawn upon us, for Malakul Maut to knock on our doors. That very beloved son of yours, that very beloved daughter of yours, that very beloved wife of yours, that very beloved father or mother of yours, they don't belong to us, I swear by Allah. We all belong only to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And to Allah is all of our returns. The only big question is how we are going to return to Allah. Now before I continue with that, Jamaatul Muslimin, because it's one of our mothers. And whenever you say the word mother, it denotes power. Whenever you mention the word mother, it denotes geniuses. Allahu Akbar. And such creation of Allah, that they produce geniuses. When a mother, I swear by Allah, has vision, when a mother has vision, and a mother who is Allah conscious, see what history have taught us, what they have produced. It's not ironical. It's not by chance that Allah has placed Jannah beneath their feet. It is not by chance that Allah has placed Jannah. Imagine the Jannah of Allah, the pinnacle of happiness. Allah has placed it beneath the feet of women. So this is not by chance. This is not by chance. So if you look back in history, and so many examples one can make, and inshallah ta'ala we'll start with a Sahabi by the name of Rabi'a. Rabi'a. So Rabi'a's dad, his father, newly married, alhamdulillah, Allah blessed him with one child, one son, and no sooner the son reached the age of 3, the call for jihad came. The call for jihad came. This was in the Khilafah of not Uthman ibn Affan, but the son of Uthman ibn Affan. The son of Uthman ibn Affan radiallahu anhu called upon Rabi'a to go to a place close to Iran, and he need to go there and spread the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this man, father, husband, he said to his wife, look at here, I'm leaving, I'm going to a place called Khurasan. I'm going there, but guess what? I can tell you the journey from Medina to Khurasan is an extremely very lengthy journey. And now my wife, I don't know when I will return. The point I want to make is just see when the tarbiyah of a wife has been made. If you gave your wife proper Allah consciousness training, see what the end result will be. So he said to his wife, I'm leaving, and oh my wife, I don't know when I will return. I don't know if I'm going to be there, if we will ever have the opportunity again, even to see one another. So here's a good 30,000 gold coins, please take care of yourself and our little child. And off he went. In coming the riwayah that he returned after 30 years. Imagine 30 years in the path of Allah. He came back not as a young man, he came back as an old man. And on his way back to Medina, the thoughts went through his mind whereby he told himself, I wonder if my family is still alive. I wonder if this wife of mine is still alive. Let's see whatever Allah had decreed. He happened to come back to Medina, his first stop as per Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Whenever a person returns from a journey to make the masjid his first stop. And this is good advice for our hujjaj living in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when you leave from home, when you come back first, make your stop to be the masjid. Make your 2 rak'at salah to shukr. Make your 2 rak'at salah out of gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that has brought you back to your area. So this Sahabi came back to Masjid al-Nabawi. On entering into Masjid al-Nabawi, you know, of course, when one returns from a journey, one is anxious, one is excited, one wants to see one's family. And as he entered Masjid al-Nabawi, he happened to see this big khalqa, meaning this huge amount of men sitting in Masjid al-Nabawi and one youngster sitting in the middle, in his early 20s. And this youngster's name was Rabi'a. This youngster was one of the 7 fuqaha of Madinatul Munawwar. One of the 7 jurists of Medina. Extremely, very highly knowledgeable. He was one of the senior judges of Medina. He was the one that passed fatwas in Medina. So this man came in and he looked at this youngster, and the big audience and crowd and people out of all looking at this youngster. And this youngster is quoting hadith and explaining tafsir of Quran, giving them dars, giving them lesson. And while sitting in the lesson of this youngster, he says to himself, he whispers to his own ears, and he says to himself, Subhanallah, imagine, this is the youth of today. How happy this youngster's parents mustn't be. Because this is true happiness. What is true happiness? When a father acknowledges and can see that his son is in the remembrance of Allah. This is true happiness. When the father comes to the masjid and he happens to see his son offering salah, I swear to Allah, there's no happiness, there's no joy more than the joy that that father experienced. Ask any of Hafiz al-Quran's dad who happened to enter that masjid where his own son is going to lead salah to Taraweeh. I swear to Allah, no sooner his son takes the musalla in front, his heart is shaking at the back. Why? The continuous question you ask yourself, oh Allah, what did I do? Oh Allah, I'm the weakest of the weakest. Oh Allah, what have I done in my life that you have selected one of my progeny to lead the ummah in salah? So this father is sitting and he looks at this youngster with this big audience and he says to himself, Allahu Akbar, this parents must be extremely very lucky parents. They must indeed be extremely very wealthy parents. How wealthy where deen is concerned. And the halqa was done, the dars was done. He turned around, going back to the very reason to why he came, wanting to see his family. He took a nice stroll down the road that he can still remember. And he says to himself, I wonder if she's still alive and if they are still staying at the place that is in my memory. He happened to walk down that particular path. He knocked on the door, and lo and behold, a lady opened the door. Allahu Akbar. No more black hair. No more as young as what she was. I don't want to say old and frail. But he looked at her and he says to her, oh my beloved wife, I have returned after that lengthy journey. Here I am. They embraced one another. He entered his own home. He sat down for a few minutes and he asked her, okay, so can you tell me, what news do you have for me? But before we go to the news, what did you do with the 30,000 gold coins? I don't want to say this is a trademark of all of us being men. Give vir die vrou R100, dan wil ek al die receipts hê. Where did you go? How did you spend? So how did you spend the 30,000 gold coins that I gave you? His wife looks at him, and his wife says to him, I think I'm not the right person to answer that question. And he looks at her. He says to her, she says to him, that, oh Adi, why don't you stand up and go back to the masjid? Go back to Masjid al-Nabawi and see what was the end result of your 30,000 gold coins that you have left behind. He didn't understand, but she basically forced him to go back to Masjid al-Nabawi. As he entered Masjid al-Nabawi, this youngster came out of Masjid al-Nabawi. And as he was coming out, as we all know, the norm is, the people greet the ulama, etc., and everyone was around him. And he didn't know what was the reason to why he was present in the Masjid al-Nabawi. His wife told him to come back. And this Buddha that stood next to him said to him, do you know who's this? He says, yeah, I heard that, this is one of the fuqaha of Medina. He says, no man, this is the son of Adi. He left his home from, when his son was still 3 years old. He went in the path of Allah for more than 30 years. And we don't know if he's still alive. But this is the product, this is the offspring of Adi. Tears rolling down his eyes, not even knowing that this is his own son. You see, when a lady's tarbiyah has been made, this wife of his could have bought his child new shoes and take him to all the kind of good things and give him the best of, worldly education. But see what this great mother did. See where she invested. Where she invested, all of her money, all of her time, all of her energy. Another example, the likes of Imam Malik. Allahu Akbar. Read his tarikh. Whenever we speak about mothers, greatness comes about. If their tarbiyah has been made, Imam Malik, his father, when he was a youngster, his father was paralyzed. Now listen to this. Imam Malik, rahimahullah, was that individual, they were extremely, very, very poor. Where did they say? Madinatul Munawwara. The very Medina that myself and yourself visit. And how unmindful we are in what particular holy grounds we are walking. How unmindful we are. How we are flabbergasted with the lights and the buildings, and we forget who tread, who walked on those holy grounds. Imam Malik, look at the condition of his father, because he had, a very minimal income. So his father used to make arrows, and his father used to sell arrows. And Imam Malik, as a youngster, his desire was that if he grows up, he would want to be a singer. Yeah. And obviously this would never ever come to our minds. Because we know Imam Malik. So we are going to see what was the great power behind Imam Malik. How did Imam Malik become Imam Malik, the Hukuma, the judge of Madinatul Munawwara, the Mufti of Madinatul Munawwara? So Imam Malik wanted to be a singer. And his mom told him, not breaking his dreams, not running his dreams down. His mom just told him something with hikmah, wisdom. And our moms have a way of doing things. They have a way of saying things. We fathers, very rigid. Straight to the point. Ek het nog tyd van hom nie. Ek gee nog much attention. And I swear by Allah, this is maybe not something that we do knowingly. But this is just the way Allah has designed and fashioned us. And moms, Allah alone knows what barakah Allah has blessed them with in their time. Why that poor lady had time for her husband, she had time for her children, she had time for her daughters, her sons, she had time to clean the house, she had time to cook, she had time for every single thing. So she says to Imam Malik, that time being Malik, oh my son, I can tell you something of the singers. Of course, when they are young, they have a very huge following. But no sooner that singer becomes old, oh my son, all his friends, all his followers, they disappear. So it is such a particular path that guess what? It is not inevitable. It is not forever. It will very soon, because you won't stay the same age, you'll become old. But how about I tell you about something, oh my son? If you should do this, not only will you have followers, but you will have the satisfaction of Allah. What is it, oh my mom? Oh my son, how about you become an alim of Allah's deen? It comes, Jamaatul Muslim, that the mom of Imam Malik used to train him from a very young age. She used to buy him the clothing of ulama. Listen to this, Allah. See what capabilities women have. She used to buy him the clothing of ulama, the thawbs, the jubbas, abayas. She used to wash him and perfume him like how the ulama would do. And she would sit him down at the dastakhan, meaning at the table. And all of the other children would sit. And then the mom would tell the others, no, be quiet. Malik, addressing him like he's a big sheikh. Malik, can you tell me how many rak'ahs is there in Dhuhr? Now we all know the answer. And then Malik said 4, and then she would tell the others, Allahu Akbar, like we would say, give Malik a good hand of applause. What a great answer Malik gave. She planted the seed. She planted the seed. This Malik, because of the advice and that seed of knowledge that the mom planted in his heart, later in time became Imam Malik. And imagine all of our predecessors, all of our ulama, the likes of Muhammad ibn Idris al-Shafi'i, who grew up with a single mom, a single mother. At a very young age, he lost his eyesight. Who? Imam Shafi'i. He lost his eyesight. Who made dua for him? Whose du'as was mustajab, was most acceptable? And this is for all of us that Allah is so blessed with parents. I just told the family and her sons and her daughters, as the son of Zubayr ibn al-Awwam, when his mom's janazah came to the masjid, Allah, Nabi Muhammad said to him, oh son, Now you need to understand that Allah has closed one of the doors of Jannah for you. When Allah took away your mom, it was as if Allah closed the door of Jannah. Because while she was alive, the entrance into Jannah was extremely very easy. For Al-Jannah to tahta aqdam al-ummahat. For indeed Jannah lies beneath the feet of our mothers. Now, my son, now is time that you beg Allah's forgiveness for your mom. Now you need to seek Allah's forgiveness, Allah's mercy for your mom. For indeed when she was alive, and this is our common mistake, النعمة إذا فقدت عرفت. A favor of Allah is that when it is taken away, then only we see the significance and the glory of that particular favor. When that favor is no more there, that fingers of ours that we don't even take notice of, Alhamdulillah, we can grasp. Alhamdulillah, we can work. Alhamdulillah, we can shake hands. Alhamdulillah, we can hold our beloved ones. No sooner Allah takes away one finger, you won't be able, just a thumb, you won't be able to hold a glass of water in your hand. This is the ni'mah of Allah. This is the favors of Allah. More than that is our mothers. More than that is our mothers. The mother of Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah made dua. Oh Allah, grant my son eyesight. Oh Allah, grant him eyesight. Oh Allah, I will sacrifice him for your deen. At the tender age of 7 years old, Imam Shafi'i became a Hafiz al-Quran. No father structure. She used to work in the morning, in the afternoon and the evening to support her son. Once she had this ultimate goal and vision for her son. With what? Something that will be beneficial for her and her son. Something that will protect her and her son. Let's say whatever we want to say, Jamaatul Muslimin. See what happened. At the tender age of 7, Imam Shafi'i became a Hafiz al-Quran. The age of 7. She sent Imam Shafi'i, Allah. She sent Imam Shafi'i to the very Imam Malik. Now being Imam Malik, grown, an elderly man. So the teacher of Imam Shafi'i was Imam Malik. But now listen to this. Imam Shafi'i, all of them, they weren't of the wealthy type. They were poor. Imam Shafi'i couldn't afford to sit in the class of Imam Malik because it was all senior ulama and he was a youngster of 7 years old. So Imam Shafi'i used to walk past the class of Imam Malik and used to stand outside by the door to listen to the dars, to listen to the lesson. Where? Outside, door closed. But when one individual receives the du'as of his parents, and more in particular the du'as of his mom, brother, there is nothing stopping him. Check it up in history. Alexander the Great, see who made him great. See what made him great, why he conquered and how he conquered. Check it up in history. What did his mom tell him? Even though it wasn't the truth, his mom told him that you are the son of Zeus. And who was Zeus at that time? A Greek god. This is perhaps shirk, utter shirk. But just see what a mom's dua can make. What the power of the dua of one's mom is. And we can see why Rasulullah said, don't even befriend aqli waliday. Don't even have him in your company. Those who are disrespectful for their parents, don't even befriend him. Don't have him in your company. Tell him, brother, no. If you can't sort your thing out with your parents, if you can't humble yourself, if you can't kiss the feet of your parents, get away because I don't have time for such things. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Allah will not look at them. Allah will not purify them. Allah will not shower His mercy upon them on the day of Qiyamah. وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. For them will be extremely very painful punishment. Who are they? Number one, عَاقْلِ وَالِدَيْهِ. A disobedient child to his parents. Today, the Aaron family lost their Jannah. The Aaron children have lost their Jannah. But let me tell you something about this lady to end off. What a kind-hearted person Allah, bless this lady. What a kind heart. Subhanallah. The lights of Jamaat, and not to mention her good deeds. But I need to say this. Number 16 Gemsbok was like everyone's own. Anyone, any child walking around here in Bayview could knock on her door and ask for anything in her house. She would give them a plate of food. Anyone, in respect of color, the African, you name it, gangster, you name it. Christian, Muslim, whosoever you were, there was always something for you to eat. Guess what? Everyone would go there, everyone would sit there. She had for everyone, not complaining so much. And because of a kind heart and a kind nature, imagine, Christians came, and because of her kindness, Allah granted them hidayah. And let me put the cherry on top. Not only did Allah give them hidayah, I know of a personal, very close student of mine. Alhamdulillah, I can call him my student. I swear that Allah, not only did he revert to Islam because of this lady, but Allah made him an alim of Allah's deen because of this lady. Let me tell you, Jamaat Muslim, what the akhlaq is. What is character? So whether Allah has blessed you with oceans of knowledge, and it's without character, without akhlaq and adab, then the Arabic statement goes that al-ilmu bila adab khusran wa ghadab. That knowledge without akhlaq will only create enemies for you, brother. Very soon you'll be of the losers, brother. Because Allah has shown in the past how Allah mislead many people with knowledge. So the kind-hearted person that she was, we can only imagine what children she produced. We can only but try to imagine what children she produced. And subhanallah, 6 sons. One of them being an alim of Allah's deen, studied the Quran of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being able to make tafsir. Now, when I say Jamaatul Muslimin, a lady that's nurtured, a lady that is guided, a lady that mustawbiya has been made, see what greatness lies ahead. Now let me tell you, today is a day of departure from this world, and very soon to knock our doors. Her a'mal have come to an end, but except in 3 cases. She can't perform any salah anymore. She can't give any zakah anymore. She can't make any tasbih anymore. There's no more reward for her. Nabi Muhammad says, except in 3 cases. Now a wise person, al-kayyis, man dana nafsahu wa amila lima ba'da al-maut. An intelligent person, our Rasul says, is a person, man dana nafsahu, who make hisab of himself, who take reckoning of himself. وَعَمِلَ لِمَا بَعْدَ الْمَوْتِ. And point number 2, who prepares himself for the life that is coming. وَالْعَاجِزِ. A foolish, stupid person is he. مَنِ اتَّبَعَ شَهْوَتَهُ وَهَوَاهُ وَتَمَنَّى عَلَى اللَّهِ. Is a person that just carelessly follow his nafs and his desires, as if he or she will remain in this world forever. And have high hopes in Allah, but their actions doesn't follow. We can see in Jamaatul Muslimin, our Rasul said, in 3 cases the reward of a person continues. Number 1, sadaqatun jariyah. As that sadaqah we make with our right hands, and our left hands don't know what the right hand is feeling in the path of Allah. Ilmun yuntafa'u bih, leaving behind beneficial knowledge. Number 3, a pious child that will be able to remember us in du'as. For indeed, between the dua of that child and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is absolute no barriers. Direct to Allah. Now when I ask you, Jamaatul Muslimin, this is a simple exam or test to do. I just need to ask myself the question, can I tick any of those boxes? Very simple. Can I tick any of those boxes? Do my child even know how to say, Rabbi irhamhuma kama rabbayani saghira? If my child don't know, then brother, you don't need someone else to tell you. Then sister, you don't need someone else to tell you or to remind you. Guess what? You are still breathing. There is still time. You need to check those boxes, for indeed we're not remaining, we're going. I need to do something. I need to make some preparation for our sister Shamima. I swear by Allah, for every harf, for every letter that her two sons will teach people about Allah's deen, guess who's the recipient of the reward? For whosoever they are going to teach. It doesn't stop there. This is something like a snowball effect. It continues, it has a chain reaction. It continues from one generation to the next generation. But guess who will be the recipient of the reward? Is that very mother that planted the seed. Is that very mother that planted the seed. Let them tell us you backwards. Let them tell you, brother, you can know it all. You know, you need to give them good education. Of course you need to give them good education. But I ask you, brother, we can't compare what is the best education. Because I can tell you, this worldly education, of course it will benefit my child. But it will only benefit my child as long as my child is breathing. No sooner my child lies on that road, on that path to enter into the everlasting life, that particular knowledge ceases and comes to an end. You could have been the best of heart surgeons or doctors. On that deathbed, everyone will drink of the cup of death. But I can tell you of a knowledge that will even benefit him or her whilst laying on the deathbed. And that's the knowledge of deen. That's the knowledge of deen. He or she will know how to say, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah. He or she will know, Man akhiru kalamihi qawla La ilaha illallah, dakhala al-jannah. Husayn's last words is La ilaha illallah, will enter the Jannah of Allah. It is highly by time. It is highly by time that no one else has to do it. Umar ibn al-Khattab used to say, حاسبوا أنفسكم قبل أن تحاسبوا. He used to say, take heed and listen from yourself before reckoning and lesson will be taken upon you. Ask yourself, what have you prepared? Brother, can you check those boxes? Can you tick them off? Am I a person that has good akhlaq? Allah bless me with children. This is an amana from Allah. This is not in vain. They won't just be for waste. Whether I die or they die before me, guess what? Allah will just ask me about myself. No. كلكم راع. كلكم راع, O men. You are shepherds. وكلكم مسؤول عن رعيته. And all of you will be held responsible coming the day of Qiyamah of all those ni'mah and favors that Allah bestowed upon you in the form of children. Allah will question us, what have you done with my creation that I have entrusted you with? So guess what? This question is something that we need to ask ourselves. And there's none to highlight, there's none to point fingers, there's none to go out of here and say, yeah, none of us can say that, because none of us sitting here is perfect. But this clearly must be a form of motivation. The life of this lady must clearly be, alhamdulillah, a form of how myself and how I can instill and plant the seed. And if my children is grown up, alhamdulillah, I still need to remind them about Allah. If my daughters is married, if my sons is married, guess what? Whenever they visit, whether it's on a Sunday or Friday, remind them about Allah. Have you made your salah, my child, my beloved son, my beloved daughter? Remind them about Allah. Because it's my duty. It's my duty. I will never forget and I will end off. It was something that my father, late father, al-Marhum, may Allah grant him high abode in Jannah. It is something that I never understood back then as a youngster. I always used to think, as many of our youngsters do, that, because my father wasn't the type of, the loving type, as the millennium fathers would do. Sit van die kinders en speel maar ietsie, sing Billy Valley en amuterane van iets. Now my father was of a very old school type. He wasn't the type that used to have conversation even with his children. We were all for our mom. Alright? Mama is my go-to person. You see, daar kom die government in by die as ek myself, ja, salam, ja, ja. My father enters, guess what? No one talks. Silence. And you will sit with his children, whether it is with a meal. Wallahi, I'm selling in the masjid. You go back to his room and my mom would take his tea for him and whatever the case may be. But once I mustered the courage, and I thought to myself, no, I'm going to ask him. I don't want to say, why is he like this? I'm going to, try to come with a direction and ask him, why are you like this? And with a single answer, with a straight face, no smiling. And you can only but imagine, because none of us, my siblings, who dare to even ask my father something. Maybe only the bigger ones, but us, well, no ways. My father just told me, oh my son, why I'm doing what I'm doing, because Salah, Quran was, that's the daily meal. Rather like how we would eat, that was his mission. Young, you must read Quran. Your Salah must be on time. He just told me one thing. Do you know why Dada is like that? It's because Qiyamah is coming. En julle gaat nie vir my in die oë insit by Allah. Now something that I didn't understand back then. It is something that I saw, words, what about only late in time after his demise, I came to discover this hadith, that we, the fathers, the parents, will be responsible for their children. Even coming the day of Qiyamah. Guess what? If you missed a brother, that very same child of yours will tell Allah, oh Allah, my dad used to go to the masjid, but he never ever told me about the masjid. My dad used to run for Umrah, used to read Quran, he was the best of reciters. But oh Allah, my dad never ever encouraged me to recite the Quran of Allah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. May Allah grant us the strength as parents. And today's time and age, it is not easy to be a parent. In today's time and age, with the children that we are sitting with, the millennium and to what they are exposed to, I swear by Allah, you need to have hair on your teeth, in your gum. Why? It is one of the biggest of challenges. For those coming back to the point whom Allah has still blessed with parents, in the name of Allah, in particular mothers, your shortcut to Jannah is right in front of you. I always end off hadith from a Sahabi by the name of Al-Jahama. وعن سلمة الجاهمة رضي الله عنه. He came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, requesting to fight in the path of Allah. Why? He wanted to become a shaheed. He wanted to become a martyr. Why? He understood. And as we all know, the blood, before the blood of a martyr touches the ground, all his sins is forgiven by Allah. So he wanted to become a shaheed. He came to Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, requesting to be part of the mujahideen. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu looked at him, and Rasulullah asked him, فَهَلْ لَكَ مِنْ أُمٍّ يَا جَامَةَ? Oh Jama, can you tell me? And this would sound off the topic. But oh Jahama, did Allah bless you with a mother? Do you have a mother? Is she still alive? Jahama, for a quick second thought that praat van Bakali, Jihad, Nabi praat van a ma. What's the connection? I want to become a Shaheed, man. He says, Naam. He says, yes, O Rasul of Allah. Allah has blessed me sallallahu alayhi wa sallam with a mom. Nabi Muhammad said to him, فَإِلْزَمْهَا فَإِنَّ الْجَنَّةَ عِنْدَ رِجْلَيْهَا. Oh Jahama, what are you doing here? Oh Jahama, what are you doing in front of me? What is this of you wanting to become a Sahabi? What is this of you wanting to become a Shaheed? What is this of you wanting to become a martyr? What is this of you wanting to enter the Jannah of Allah? Whilst Jannah is staring at you every single day. Oh Jahama, go back to your mom. That is your Jannah. You running away from your Jannah. Beloved youth in Islam, beloved brothers in Islam, whether mama at times is a bit offside, whether mama's whatever she's saying is maybe not the truth at that time, whether your wife is complaining, yes, every time it's just us, man. I'm sick of this now. Yes. And then we also say, I don't know what's wrong with this lady. Huh? Shame on you, brother. Shame on you, brother. One Sahabi asked, Oh Rasulullah, I understand the rights of a mother. I understand the rights of our parents. وَإِنْ ظَلَمَا. Oh Rasulullah, tell me, what if they oppress you? What if they oppress you? In our vanet, first in place. Because when Maanchi come there, Maanchi is a wat optreden met die gevaarlijke karren. En Maanchi is slaaf wat is groot. Ek geskarren met vir Uber geld. Ons allemaal over mama was it. Right? But when Maanchi comes there, everything is made of Maanchi's children. Hi, come sit here, mama. En as ons inkoop, dan sê mama, die kinders bly lawaai maak. En ek wat mama se sien is, ek is offended. Ayena. En jy vind gevoelig, you know, subhanallah, are you offended? Ja, mama maak versien this. This Sahabi asked, وَإِنْ ظَلَمَا. Oh Rasulullah, what if mama oppresses me? What if my dad oppresses me? What if he takes what is mine? Rightfully mine that I have worked for. Rasulullah looked at him and said to him, وَإِنْ ظَلَمَا وَإِنْ ظَلَمَا وَإِنْ ظَلَمَا. And oh my Sahabi, if you only open your mouth once, if you retaliate once, and it caused that your mom cried, not tears of joy, and you cause hurt upon your father's heart, not one, Allah will open 2 doors of Jannah for you. 2 doors of Jannah for such a child. We are not saying our parents are angels. We are not saying they don't make mistakes. We are not saying they are fine. We are saying, lower your wings of mercy upon them. Brother, like you are making mistakes. Imagine they are our parents. They can make even greater mistakes. Lower your wings of mercy. وَاحْفِظْ لَهُمَا جَنَاحَ الذُّلِّ مِنَ الرَّحْمَةِ وَقُلْ رَبِّ ارْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِي صَغِيرًا. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant our disease, May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect her. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loosen her tongue at the time of questioning. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala place sabr in the hearts of her children and her family. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant هذا حيث بود الجنة. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين بكل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. جماعة المسلمين تسمعون حاج بيتي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, Jamaat Muslimin, I'll try to figure out which person doesn't say Allahu Akbar. The eyes is not to break. Inshallah, I'll do that getting off the salah. Salatul Jumu'ah, inshallah ta'ala. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka.